afternoon to you from Leigh Sports Village. Ben Jacobs with you for full match commentary in this Adobe Women's FA Cup fourth round tie between the holders Manchester United and West Bromwich Albion. The teams are out. We'll run through the starting 11s for you in just a moment. It's great to have your company all around the world. As you can see, a little bit frosty out there, but there is undersoil heating. We've had some light rain too, but we should get pretty decent conditions for football in what is unfortunately the only game of the day after Brighton against Durham was called off due to a frozen pitch down south. There's a full programme on Sunday as well of matches. We'll run through that in due course. But Manchester United defending the FA Women's Cup and West Bromwich Albion looking to cause an almighty upset. They play in the third tier of women's football, but they are up for the cup, and Olivia Rabjon has the opportunity to play against her sister's club, even though Evie is unfortunately injured. As far as the teams are concerned, it's a very strong Manchester United 11, only one change from their 1-0 victory over Crystal Palace in the WSL. Grace Clinton drops out and Melvin Millard comes into the starting 11. Manchester United playing a 4-2-3-1. Fallon Tulis-Joyce in goal. Riviere at the back alongside Maya Letitia. And then we have Millard slotting into a front line led by Turland. I'll give you those full 11s in just a second. As for West Bromwich Albion, one change for them as well. They've had a number of postponements, unfortunately, due to the weather, but last time out they played in the Adobe FA Women's Cup, beating Cheadle Town by 2-0. And Olivia Rabjon comes into the side for the visitors, and that means that Rianne Oakley has to make way. Olivia Rabjon, the 22-year-old, she is the older sister of Evie, who plays for Manchester United, and the two sisters said that they just had a funny feeling the teams would draw each other, and they did, but unfortunately Evie is sidelined for this game. So Manchester United with Tulis-Joyce in goal, Riviere, Letitia, Turner and George across the back, Miyazawa and Janssen, the deeper lying midfielders, Jay-Z, Millard and Galton. And then leading the line is Turland. And there's great news on the bench as well. Ella Toone is back after missing around 2 months with a calf injury. And Mark Skinner, the Manchester United women's manager, said that we should see her during the course of this game. West Bromwich Albion with Miller in goal, Brown, Reynolds, Green and George across the back, Orthodoxu and Watkins, two experienced midfielders, particularly Orthodoxu, who used to play for Birmingham City. Warner, Rabjon and Miller, with May leading the line. Rabjon should move out to the right-hand side, and Warner will be playing behind the lone striker, May, who used to play for Derby County. So we're just about to get underway here. It's great to have your company. It's the fourth round of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Ben Jacobs with you, Leigh Sports Village, 12,000 capacity, and I understand that close to 300 have made the journey up to support the visitors, West Bromwich Albion, in that huddle at the moment as we're about to get underway. It's a big task to knock out the defending champions, especially given how strong this 11 is. Maybe a little bit of a surprise to some extent. Mark Skinner, of course, taking the competition very seriously, but in the League Cup there were several changes in a 5-3 victory over Newcastle United. And I say surprise only because after this there are back-to-back Manchester derbies in the league and in the quarter-final also of the League Cup. The players kneel to show no room for racism in football and solidarity against any forms of discrimination. And we're underway. West Brom in the stripes, playing from right to left as you look at it on your picture. Manchester United in their usual red with black shorts and black socks. And Zaidzi with an early chance here on the right-hand side, chipped into a dangerous area. West Brom get it away, and Albion have their first opportunity to break down the right-hand side. Rabjon there, involved in the game for the first time, and she'll now take the throw-in. In fact, she's going to leave it and move further up the field. Siobhan Hodgett still in the visitors' dugout. Joined in June, replacing Jenny Sugarman. Everyone behind the ball for West Brom. Millie Turner. Plenty of time. No real surprise to see West Ham kind of parking the bus early on. Jay-Z on the right. Now Letitia, the captain. Millie Turner. Manchester United are going to have plenty of opportunities to build patiently, but on this occasion, cheaply given away. Strong response by the home side after losing 1-0 to Chelsea in the WSL, a 4-0 victory over Liverpool, 5-3 against Newcastle United in the League Cup, and they ground out a 1-0 victory away at Crystal Palace as well. Turner, the 28-year-old. Letitia, bit of zip on that ball out to the right-hand side. In it comes. And the first opportunity on goal is Millard with a header that she couldn't really generate too much power behind. You can see that Manchester United making this pitch as wide as possible early on and using their wingers. It was a decent ball in from that right-hand side. Riviere with the cross. Millard with the header. Simple save, though, in the end for Anna Miller, who's called into action for the first time in the game. The 26-year-old American who began playing football at the University of Washington. Riviere again chasing, in the end, what was a lost cause. So the only game today, due to Brighton-Durham being postponed. Plenty of ties, though, tomorrow. Manchester City, Ipswich. One to watch. Everton, Spurs, and all WSL clash. Maya Letitia. 7 caps for her for England now. Turner forwards with purpose. 3 in the box for Manchester United. Whipped into the near post. Millard again got a touch on it. Couldn't guide it either to a teammate or into the corner. And Miller again gathers. West Brom leaving a fair amount of space there just in front of the penalty spot. Taylor Reynolds a little flat-footed and maybe a bit fortunate not to be punished. As Miller pumps one long for the visitors. See that LMA already is having to play very deep to try and get involved in the game and couldn't latch onto the ball and hold it up on that occasion. And Manchester United's back line are able to get relatively far up the field without any pressure. Could be a long afternoon for May as she tries to give her side much needed respite. Jay-Z out to that right-hand side and Miyazawa. Cross again comes in. And once more, it's off target and harmlessly out for a goal kick. Decent ball in once again. And Manchester United are getting plenty of touches inside the West Brom penalty area in these early stages. But with 5 minutes gone, it remains 0-0 between Manchester United and West Brom. Manchester United have made a signing today as well, we should point out. 23-year-old goalkeeper Kayla Rendell has joined from Southampton on a contract that will run until June 2027 with the option of an additional year. She made over 100 appearances for Southampton. Galton helps it on down that left-hand side, but it was just asking a little bit too much on that occasion of Turland, who has 4 goals in 9 WSL games. And a familiar pattern at the moment for Manchester United, a bright start. They're getting a bit of joy in wide areas. Haven't really found a way yet, though, to test Miller, who is in no rush to take this goal kick. Miyazawa. Riviere chipped into a dangerous area, and it was just fractionally over the head of Millard, and Galton was behind and couldn't quite make a clean connection. Manchester United knocking on the door, but it remains Manchester United 0, West Brom 0. Albion have 3 wins in the league from 11 games in the Premier Division of the WPL. Millard, Riviere. Neat feet by Millard once more, onto that left foot. Dangerous ball in. And again, these half chances for Manchester United go a-begging. At that time, it was Jay-Z who couldn't quite control it, the Brazilian. First touch was decent, the second one just got away from her. Flag went up anyway for offside. So Miller is having really all of the touches from goal kicks, free kicks for Albion at the moment. Worked forwards, May got ahead to that. Manchester United come forwards again. Galton with purpose. Helps it on down that left-hand side to Millard. Albion scramble it away. Only as far as Laetitia. Riviere. This time keeping it on her right foot. Chips it towards the back post. Galton in there. Millard as well. Cleared just in front of the line. Conceded by Gabby George. And I don't think Manchester United can believe that that ball wasn't somehow forced in. Albion living dangerously. A bright start here by Manchester United, but it stays 0-0. Gabby George penalised once again. It's Miller, the 26-year-old, who was the PFA player in the community in 2024, which shows you that she does excellent work off the field as well. And almost 10 minutes in, West Brom will be happy with the scoreline, but Manchester United, wave after wave, as I think we expected, of pressure so far. Miyazawa. Now out again to the left-hand side, just zipped under the foot of Gabby George. And again, West Brom will just slow the game down. Julius Joyce in goal, Riviere, Laetitia, Turner and George, Miyazawa and Janssen, Jay-Z, Millard and Galton, and Turlin leading the line for Manchester United. Ella Toone is on the bench. That's the real headline. She's back after 2 months out. And for Albion, Miller, Brown, Reynolds, Green and George across the back. Orthodoxu and Watkins, who haven't really been able to get in the game yet. And then Rabjohn playing on the right-hand side. Miller on the left. Warner through the centre. And May is the furthest of the attack-minded players for Albion. It's Manchester United again whipping across. And Miller just flapped at that a little bit. Jay-Z picks it up. Whipped in again from just outside of the area, but at the wrong kind of angle for a red shirt. Jay-Z had plenty of time, went for the cut back. Turlin deciding to try and cross towards the back post when maybe she had time to take a touch and get a shot away. Mark Skinner, though, will be pleased with the start. No complacency from Manchester United, but they've just lacked that kind of cutting edge in the final third. Slightly short goal kick there. Straight back to Jay-Z. No foul. Referee, by the way, is Lucy May in the centre of the park. Millie Turner chipped out to that left-hand side. George toe pokes it to Galton. George and Galton with a little 1-2, a little bit short for Galton. She does well by the corner flag. Now George could have put it in the box, but goes backwards. Letitia, the captain. Chipped forwards, no offside. Galton inside the area. Well placed on that occasion by Brown. Miyazawa backwards to Letitia. Now the Japan international again. Riviere. Kind of a cross shot in the end, which she slices away. And once again, Anna Miller with a goal kick. Yet to make a meaningful save. Plenty of time and joy as well in either flank, but no meaningful efforts on goal. Millard's header, the only attempt on target so far, which was comfortably saved by Miller. Miller, the #1 goalkeeper for West Brom. They are 8th at the moment in the WPL Premier Division. Manchester United, remember, the defending champions in the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Tremendous victory over Spurs at Wembley, in which Ella Toone was amongst the scorers. Jansen went backwards, and now it's worked to Miyazawa. Neat and intricate footwork. And the first real half decision, at least, for the referee, Lucy May, as Galton slid to the ground when it looked like she might have muscled her way in. No real appeals, though, from the Manchester United players. Miller hoofs it long again. You can understand why Albion don't really want to try and play out from the back, but it means that there's not much ball on the ground to the likes of Watkins and Orthodoxu at the moment. Those long balls are bypassing the deeper lying midfielders and meaning that Manchester United centre-backs are coming into midfield and picking up the ball without any real pressure so far. Albion organised, though, and they would, of course, have taken this 0-0 after almost 15 minutes. Riviere, that's a well-weighted ball. Miyazawa just about keeps it in, having brought it down off her knee, and she'll win her side a corner. Mark Skinner said in the build-up that there would be no complacency, and that's been reflected in his team selection. Corner on this near right-hand side to Manchester United women. Whipped in towards the back post. That's a decent delivery, and the header comes off the top of the bar, and that's the closest that Manchester United women have come so far. Looped in towards the far post. And there was the little step back header coming right off the top of the bar. And West Brom survive an early scare. Maya Letitia with the header, and that's about as close as Manchester United have got so far. They've been in threatening positions throughout the entire game, but have only been able to hit the target once. Of course, woodwork doesn't count as target, so the Millard header is still the only effort on target to date. Another opportunity here, though, from the corner. Similar kind of position as the last one in terms of how Manchester United are lining up. One in front of the goalkeeper to try and stop her from making an early movement. This time it's driven towards the back post, and it's another opportunity for Millard, and she glances it wide. kind of a hot ball to handle that one, a fierce delivery in, but she had time to jump just to the left and in front of the penalty spot. And again, couldn't guide it on target. Millard wearing gloves in what is winter weather. Pitch not dramatically affected by the conditions. It's cutting up a little bit in parts, but the staff here at Leigh Sports Village have done really well to ensure that this is an excellent playing surface, with many games throughout the country being called off. Letitia, Riviere. Little deflection finds eventually the feet of Miyazawa. Miller was the player tracking back. Riviere once more. Letitia, lovely angled ball. Galton, control took her a little bit wide. Jay-Z pointing for the overlap, using Riviere. Ball comes in, again dangerous in and around the penalty area, half cleared by Albion. Letitia, Janssen, George. And this time it's hacked away by Seren Watkins, the Welsh midfielder. Just got a stoppage here in play because Anna Miller is down. Bad news, by the way, for Albion if Anna Miller can't continue is they don't actually have a goalkeeper on the bench. Simran Jamat, the former Lewis player, Mariam Mahmood, Mary Rhodes, Rhiann Oakley, Ruby Harris, Ella Howie, Kate Evans, and Izzy Whittick are the substitutes. So this is a slightly worrying moment for Albion. Anna Miller shaking her head. As you can see, Albion straight back to their manager, Siobhan Hodgett still, whose partner, by the way, is an avid Manchester United fan. So that is going to be a very interesting household, depending on what the result is. I think she said in the build-up that her partner's promised to support Albion over her beloved Manchester United. Miller back up on her feet and looks okay to continue. Brought down well by Jay-Z, Riviere, Turner. Letitia with a positive pass, forcing Turner forwards. George hugging that left-hand side. Galton out of play. Albion ball. Ashley Brown to take the throw-in. Brown, the 28-year-old former Birmingham player. Mark Skinner, of course, was at Birmingham with several of these Albion players when they started the earlier part of their career. And midway through the first half, Albion the happier of the two sides because it is still a stalemate. All Manchester United in terms of possession so far, and they have hit the bar. Letitia with 7 caps for England. Riviere on the right-hand side now. Down the line with purpose. Miyazawa gets away from the defender well, tried to pick the bottom corner. Thick deflection off Taylor Reynolds, and a welcome one as far as Albion are concerned, and it's another Manchester United corner. Maya Letitia trots over to take it. As you can see, four in a line in and around the penalty area, with Gabby George at the front, Millard at the back. Short to Jay-Z. This one off the training ground. Maya Letitia, in the end, a cross shot. Well watched and taken by Miller, who does appear to be moving freely, which is good news for Albion. Turner. George. Now Galton. Letitia will switch the play to the right-hand side. Well brought down on the left shoulder there by Riviere, put into the 6-yard area. It will fall to Jay-Z. Little 1-2 with Riviere, and then pings it in towards the back post. It's off the knee, and it's into the bottom left-hand corner. Melvine Millard, breakthrough for Manchester United. Her 4th goal in 10 games this season. Manchester United 1, West Brom 0.
Manchester United, number 9, Melvine Millard.
All about the cross from Jay-Z. And Millard with a little bit of fortune, able to just shift her body and make any contact. And that's what poachers do, guiding it into the bottom left-hand corner. And Manchester United have the breakthrough on 23 minutes, and now they will hope that the floodgates start to open a little bit. Millard, the French international, now 24. She is in decent goal-scoring form. 4 in 10. As Riviere hot foots over the halfway line, and then that's a little bit of a nasty collision. Seren Watkins holding her ground, and in the end will be penalised. Riviere just landed a little bit awkwardly. But coming back to the goal, Jay-Z with the assist. Able to get the right angle, and even though the ball was right under her feet, enough purchase on the ball to whip it towards the back post. And then that's what you want from all good attackers, somebody like Millard just taking a gamble, right place, right time, any contact would have done. And she was able to just force it into the bottom corner before Miller could get down to make the save. Can Manchester United find what might prove to be a killer second in quick succession, even though there is, of course, a long way to go? Turner. Chip that one, almost like you would a sandwich there, out to George on the left-hand side. Taken away from Manchester United by Warner. But again, they win it back. Letitia. Manchester United captain again scouring the field for options. George in a bit of space. Takes a first touch in towards Millard again, and she should have really made it 2. Goal was gaping. Easier than the first header that she did get on target. Arguably simpler than the goal that she just scored. Free header, 6 yards out, but she puts it 2 yards wide of that right-hand post. And Albion survive a bit of a scare there. That really should have been 2-0. Jansen had helped it out to George. Turland kept the attack going. George again. Now Maya Letitia takes a couple of touches, half-faked a shot, and then chipped it intelligently into the box, but the offside flag is up. Millard certainly causing Albion all kinds of problems. She was offside on that occasion. But Manchester United have their goal, and that changes the complexion a little bit of the game. You would still expect Albion to keep their shape as is, but Manchester United will be looking for a second or more before half-time to give themselves a little bit of breathing space. And with those Manchester derbies in mind, Mark Skinner may be looking to make some changes in the second half if Manchester United can get a lead. But it's a narrow scoreline for now, and Albion come forwards with a bit of purpose for the first time. That ball forwards, though, was asking quite a lot of Phoebe Warner, who at that point was the most advanced player. To the right of her is Ellie May, who is the lone striker in this system. The visitors are playing a 4-5-1 formation. But what you will see if they're chasing the game a little bit later is Warner go into that more advanced position. Olivia Ramp-John is on the right-hand side, and Ali Miller, who unfortunately hasn't got into the game at all yet. No huge surprise, she's on the left-hand side as another offside flag goes up against Manchester United. And if you are late to the feed, Manchester United making just the one change, the goal scorer Melvin Millard coming in for Grace Clinton. 4-2-3-1 for Manchester United. Julius Joyce, Riviere, Letitia, Turner and George. Miyazawa and Jansen. Jay-Z, Millard, Galton and Turland leading the line. And here is Millard again. Didn't want to hit it first time. Perhaps the right decision because there were a lot of West Brom players suddenly around her. Jansen and Riviere combining. Now Jay-Z. That ball was very high. Came down with a little bit of ice on it, and Galton unable to make clean contact. Jansen again. Miyazawa. Blocked on that occasion by Watkins, who has been effective in that role, protecting her back four. As you can see, a decent attendance here as well at Lee Sports Village. A couple of Brazilian flags for Jay-Z. Here's Riviere. She brought that down impeccably. Back to Jay-Z. Skips away from her marker in the form of Hannah George, the captain for Albion, and now receives the ball in the box. Jay-Z, unselfish cutback, and it deflects off Taylor Reynolds, and it's gathered by Miller. Jay-Z maybe had the opportunity to pull the trigger there on her right foot and just go for power. Didn't fancy beating the goalkeeper at the near post, drew the defender, and then it was well defended and away by Albion in the form of Reynolds, who's only 20, very highly rated in the game. And very versatile as well, can play anywhere across the back line. She started her career at Wolverhampton Wanderers in their youth system, and is now a mainstay for Siobhan Hodgett Still and Albion. Half an hour gone. Manchester United 1, West Brom 0, live on FA Player and also the YouTube channel for the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Ben Jacobs with you. Letitia over the halfway line. Galton. Mark Skinner would love to find a way in this game for her to make a real impact and maybe get inside a little bit more. Letitia choosing not to go long. Turner, the 28-year-old. Galton on that left-hand side. George ahead of her. Threads it forwards neatly. Ball sort of just bobbled a little bit en route. Millard will pick it up. Awkward bounce for Riviere to deal with. She felt she was fouled there, and it will be a free kick to Manchester United. Just had the intelligence there to go down on the ground with that little bit of contact. Albion are still unsure. They're asking the official whether or not the free kick has been given, but it was right in front of the official on this near side, and Riviere had the sense to go down. And Albion with some defending to do. Warner still in conversation with the referee Lucy May to voice her disagreement. Rabjohn lining up the wall. George to deliver in those pink boots. Towards the back post, and the header comes in just wide. This time it was a first opportunity of the game for Millie Turner, unchallenged at the back post. Difficult angle, and she did have to generate some of her own power. Not too far away. Manchester United are winning so many headers, though, in the Albion box at the moment. Millard with 3 or 4, and now Turner with an opportunity on goal as well. And they do have a height advantage. Half a chance here for Albion. May, and she goes for a shot on goal. And in the end, and slightly bizarrely, Chiles-Joyce diving acrobatically. She wasn't entirely sure after that ball bounced where it was going exactly. May caught her by surprise somewhat there. Felt like maybe if she could have got to the ball first, she could have run a bit closer to goal, but she took a pot shot there. It bounced a couple of times in front of Chiles-Joyce. And in the end, it's well wide, but the Manchester United goalkeeper just briefly unsure. First opportunity of the game for West Bromwich Albion. 33 minutes gone. Manchester United 1, West Brom 0 in the Adobe Women's FA Cup here at Leigh Sports Village, with almost 300 travelling fans who've made the journey up. Riviere. Another dangerous run down that right-hand side. It hit the back of Hannah George, which stopped it doing any meaningful damage. In it comes towards the Japanese midfielder Miyazawa, but Miller is sharp off her line and alert to smother. Albion women hoping to do better than the men's side today, who were thrashed away at Bournemouth in the FA Cup by 5 goals to 1. That's despite taking the lead in that game. Letitia, well-weighted ball. Opportunity here down the left-hand side for Turland. West Brom, though, keeping their shape pretty well at the back so far, and Manchester United have to settle for the corner. This is where they've really done the damage. Crosses, set pieces in wide areas. 9 times out of 10 so far, Manchester United are getting their head to the ball first. You can see the height advantage. There is a little bit of height in Ellie May. Janssen and Millard, though, with big opportunities to get their head to the ball, launched in towards the back post. Half cleared by Albion. I'm not sure that Taylor Reynolds knew too much about it, but there could be a counter-attack on here. Miyazawa was in the way, and now Albion have to get numbers back. Millard is waiting for it on the edge of the area. Jay-Z had done well to drive into the box, but then the ball back towards Millard was just a little bit too short. Dominic Janssen helps it on to Turner. George goes backwards, plenty still in the box for Manchester United. Tissier, who's basically playing as a number 6 at the moment. Well worked by Manchester United to George down the left-hand side. Jay-Z looping header onto the top of the goal. Again, it's with their heads, not their feet, so far that Manchester United have been the biggest threat inside the box. Another high looping ball in. Mistimed by Hannah George. Jay-Z behind, but couldn't keep the ball down. Evie Rabjon, as you'd expect, is here, even though she's injured. Part of the Manchester United delegation, but watching her sister on the other side. West Brom's mission will be to make sure that it's only 1-0 now at half-time, with under 10 minutes to go. Only real stoppage was that injury to Anna Miller, who thankfully for Albion is okay, because they don't have that goalkeeper on the bench. Miller gathers. Toone, Williams and a Garcia brace the 4 goals for Manchester United when they won the Adobe FA Women's Cup for the first time. Mark Skinner, a runner-up with Manchester United as well during his time here. And also with Birmingham City, who he used to manage as well. So it's 3rd time lucky for Skinner in the Adobe Women's FA Cup. As again, West Brom concede. Corner on that far left-hand side. Tissier trots over to take it. Galton standing right in front of the goalkeeper. Let's see whether Manchester United mix it up. Again, there's a line of players in and around the penalty spot. Millard peels away to the near post. She gets her head to it as well. And it's just about gathered by Anna Miller. She did well there, Miller, to anticipate the glancing header and make sure that it didn't slip through her fingers, and it stays at Manchester United 1, West Brom 0. Space here, they've got an overload Manchester United on the left-hand side. Offside flag, though, is going to go up against Elizabeth Turland, the former Brighton player. We've seen Ella Toone warm up for the first time, back after missing 2 months with a calf injury, the 25-year-old. 9 goals for her in all competitions last season, and Mark Skinner's already said that we will see her at some point during the second half. On the Manchester United bench, Middleton Patel, the goalkeeper. Sandberg, Mannion, Toone, Bizet, Williams, Anderson and Griffiths. Riviere over the halfway line with purpose. She's been allowed to run a good 15 yards here. Jay-Z goes down in the area. I think she threw herself to the ground there, though, really having knocked the ball too far ahead of her. That was excellent positional defending at potentially a price, though, because it looks like Taylor Reynolds has landed a bit awkwardly here on the left ankle. The Welsh youth defender. You can see there, she's just moving a bit gingerly. Good defending, though. She's entitled just to stand her ground. Stepped in front of the player to stay goal side. Jay-Z, the Brazilian, throwing herself to the deck. Five minutes to go plus added time until the break. Here's Millie Turner. Riviere. Jay-Z. Lovely first touch. In fact, a series of touches and kick-ups and flicks by Millard. who showboats it out to Jay-Z again. This time she gets to the byline. Decent ball in across the 6-yard area. Once again, plenty of Albion shirts are there to scramble clear. Miller trying to muster something for Albion, but there was nobody ahead of her. Prior to that, Warner had done well to at least gain a little bit of ground, but Manchester United come again, chip forwards into a dangerous area. Miyazawa was there, couldn't round the goalkeeper. Jay-Z tries to chip it into the far left-hand corner, and the angle is all wrong. Another half chance goes begging for Manchester United. Very tight call for Miyazawa as to whether she was on or offside. The official on the near right-hand side felt she timed her run well. Jay-Z, though, unable to chip it into the goal, with Anna Miller a little bit static. Important thing for Manchester United is they do have the lead, and if it continues like this, Albion are seeing so little of the ball that legs may tire. But Manchester United would certainly like to get a second goal sooner rather than later. Backwards header into the path of Millard. She's by herself inside the area, looking for options unselfishly. Jay-Z has to wait for the ball to come down, a driving effort, which in the end had all the sting taken out of it as it hit the deck. And Miller makes another routine save. She's had, unsurprisingly, more touches than anybody. Of course, Albion will never be happy to be behind, but it is only a narrow scoreline, so there are some positives for them to take in at the break if the scoreline stays as is. May is chasing Tulis Joyce, who makes the clearance up towards the halfway line. Galton runs into trouble in the form of Ashley Brown, who made sure that she didn't give an inch there, the former Birmingham City and England youth player. And Millard says she's been tugged down there by Taylor Reynolds. Wry smile by Millard as she doesn't get the decision. Millie Turner, George. Galton wanted a give and go there, but backwards it goes. 1 minute to go until the break plus added time. Miyazawa, put under pressure by Orthodoxu, the 26-year-old who was also at Birmingham City. Now here's Galton, just on the edge of the area. Ball in early, half cleared by Reynolds. Riviere. Galton. Asked too much of George, who turns a little bit in disgust there because it was a relatively simple pass. And Albion have weathered the storm since the goal, which came on 21 minutes from Melvin Millard, and there will be 2 minutes of added time before the break. We've already played about 30 seconds of them. Millard able to pickpocket Green there. George, Millard again. Manchester United with 90 seconds to try and get a second goal and put a different complexion on this first half. Turner, George. Millard couldn't feed it back to her to give her a better angle for the cross. Now we have 2 winter balls on the field momentarily. That will eat up just a fraction more time. And Albion are only 60 seconds or so away from getting in at half-time. Only 1-0 down, and still therefore very much in this game. Miyazawa. Jay-Z looped towards the back post. Galton with the first header, Millard with the second. Oh, it's flapped at slightly there by Miller. Eventually she gets down well to block Millard, otherwise it would have been a relatively simple finish. Danger not over. There's a shot from outside the area. Comes in by Turland, which was blocked. Perhaps the last chance now for Manchester United of the half. Riviere to Letizier. Jay-Z, 2 come straight to her. Letizier. Free header at the back post there for Galton, but she didn't have the angle to go for goal. And Albion again holding their shape and defending well. Now the 2 minutes are up. Lucy May has a little look at her watch. And there is the half-time whistle. Manchester United have a slender lead at the break. The goal coming on 21 minutes, cross from the right-hand side and forced in by Melvin Millard. Not the most orthodox of finishes, but that's what good poachers do. They make sure that they get away from their marker, and any contact was able to force the ball into the bottom left-hand corner for Melvin Millard's 4th goal in all competitions of the season. And at the break, in the Adobe Women's FA Cup, it is the holders Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. In the red, West Brom in the stripes, second half underway. Albion with Miller in goal, who did have a slightly nervous moment when she was receiving treatment to what looked like the right either thigh or hamstring area. She was almost being stretched, like she had a little bit of cramp, but at that stage of the game, much more likely that maybe she just felt something. No substitute goalkeeper on the bench for Albion, so the good news is that she's fit, and she made a couple of late stops too to keep this score at only 1-0. Brown, Reynolds, Green and George, the captain, across the back as Manchester United come forwards. And it's the Japan midfielder Miyazawa who in the end can't hit the target. Orthodoxu, Watkins, Warner, Rabjohn, Miller and May. May with the only effort for Albion so far, the 24-year-old who started her career at Derby County's academy, was actually scouted as a teenager by Manchester City in the blue half of Manchester. Nothing materialised from that. Rare occasion where Albion are playing out from the back. Maybe that is a slightly different message coming from Hodgetts, still their manager at half-time. Letizier. Miyazawa. Well kept in by George, but she's actually put herself in a little bit of trouble here. Jay-Z, another excellent ball in, but Millard hadn't really taken a gamble at the near post, hoping perhaps instead for a cutback more around the penalty area. At some point we will probably see Warner be pushed level with Ellie May if it stays at 1-0. Maybe in the last 10 or 15 minutes of the game. Letizier. Ball forwards down the right-hand side. A little bit too hot to handle on that occasion for Turland, who's been relatively quiet. Galton's seen plenty of the ball on the left-hand side. Jay-Z involved, including the assist for the goal. Millard scored it. Turland, who is looking for her 5th goal, having scored 4 in the WSL, yet to really have a meaningful chance so far. Janssen tries a long-range effort and just drags it in the end well wide. Certainly wasn't afraid to have a go there. Phoebe Warner actually did well to just breathe down her net from behind. Perhaps that made the difference. 7 or 8 yards wide in the end, and with 48 minutes gone, it stays at Manchester United 1, West Brom 0. Galton almost able to feed that one straight back into the path of Turland. And now Turland picks it up on the edge of the area. Forced back. Riviere. Letitia can't squeeze it through. Albion after this go away at Halifax in the league, in the 3rd tier of women's English football. Manchester United have got 2 Manchester derbies in the space of just a week. Away at Man City on the 19th in the league, and then a League Cup quarter-final midweek. Neat feet by George, just over the head of Mallard. In the end, Turland can't do anything with it. Cross was clearly intended for Mallard. George did ever so well. Mallard leapt and had those dreadlocks even just got a slither on the ball, she might have been able to glance it into the far corner. Turland was following up behind and couldn't force it in. And it's another stop for Miller. Warner helps it on. Miller working hard. Riviere, though, able to calmly bring the ball clear. Albion, though, committing a few numbers forwards there. And now they have to make sure they don't get caught on the counter-attack. Chipped wide into the path of Galton. Too wide to allow her a run on goal. Miyazawa. Pass through as she gave the defenders the eyes as well, cut out. George quickly takes the throw in to Miyazawa again. Letitia with plenty of time. Bounces one out to that right-hand side. Riviere to Jedzi. And then the glancing header again over the top of the bar from Galton. If anything, she was looking for something a little bit more deft, but it just sort of hit her plumb on the forehead. Just over 50 minutes gone here. Manchester United 1, West Brom 0. Millie Turner. George on the left-hand side, looking lively. Helps it on to Miyazawa. Doesn't want to cross from the byline, cuts in, another decent ball in. Mallard again, forcing her way to it first. And every time those crosses come in, it's usually a red shirt on the end of it. Difficult one to execute that because she was a good 10 yards out. And 2 defenders stayed very close to her. And harmlessly again into the arms of Anna Miller. Turner feeds the ball to Turland, who was nimble with her feet there, and she's caught, and it's a free kick to Manchester United in a dangerous position here. Lucy May, the referee, had a good look of that one. Manchester United will have a free kick only 20 yards out. Very central position, so the opportunity to go both ways. Albion at the moment organising a 4-woman wall. Surely going to have to go back about 5 yards there. That was very ambitious guesswork by the visitors. But they were only about 5 yards from the ball, and now they shuffle back after the magic spray's put down. Dominic Janssen standing over the ball at the moment, as is Gabby George. Letitia is going to join the wall. Janssen to take, and it's gathered by Miller. Decent effort, but watched all the way by Miller. Simple catch in the end because it dipped at a good height for the goalkeeper. Miller's been very solid so far. Not too much that she could have really done about the goal, given that it came in off the knee of Millard. And from such close range, it was always going to be very ambitious for her to get down and turn it around the post. George cleverly helps that on inside the area, receives it back from Galton. Galton to the edge of the area, and Turner. Now Galton drops the shoulder and gets close to the byline. Jedzi inside the area. Tried to just play that initially off Hannah George for the corner. Albion do well and concede a throw-in instead. A lot to like, though, at the moment about how Albion are defending. Very well organised. Two Americans in goal today, Miller and Fallon Chilis-Joyce. And a new goalkeeper has just joined Manchester United. We'll come back to that in a moment. Here's Galton. Turner. Galton very involved in this second half, linking up with George, swinging one into the 6-yard area. Albion took a risk and let it bounce. And shot coming in from Turland. Never really enough power in the end, and too many Albion bodies in the way. Galton, Millard on the left foot. Albion do well to force her wide. George, Turner. Now all the way back to Letitia. Spreads it out to the right-hand side. Riviere drives one into the box, but at the wrong angle for everybody. And Albion with a welcome goal kick. Almost an hour played. Mark Skinner said that this would be a tough test. And certainly the visitors not caving in after conceding on 21 minutes. They've weathered the storm and now will hope that they can create a second half opportunity on the counter-attack. Just coming back to the goalkeeper front, though, as I said a moment ago, 23-year-old keeper Kayla Rendell has joined Manchester United from Southampton, as we're going to see the first change of the game here, double change in fact, as far as Manchester United are concerned by the looks of things.
Substitution for Manchester United, replacing number 3, Gabby George.
Anna Sandberg is going to come on for Gabby
Number
George.
2, Anna
That is the
Sandberg.
first change. And the second
Replacing
change
number
will see
23,
Jay-Z depart. And Celine Bizet is going to come on.
It's number 15, Celine Bizet. And replacing number 9, Melvin Mallard, is number 28, Rachel Williams.
And third change, Melvin Millard goes off, the goal scorer. And on comes Rachel Williams. So still no sign of Ella Toone yet, which I think is to be expected. All indications are that she will feature in this game, but perhaps in the final 20 minutes or so. But a change to freshen things up before the hour mark. 3 changes for Manchester United. Millard, the goal scorer, off. Miyazawa, Turner, Sandberg, their first touch since coming on. Gabby George had been very effective in the second half so far, so maybe a little bit of a surprise that she's made way as Galton tries to pounce on a loose ball. It deflects all the way back to Sandberg. Letitia. Bizet. Riviere down the right-hand side, loops one towards the back post. Galton with the header. Put it into a dangerous area. She was trying to find the far right-hand corner. In the end, it was a nice little cut-back header into the 6-yard area, but there was nobody at the back post, and Manchester United women have to settle for a corner. Sandberg is trotting over to the winter ball on the cone there. Have to get it yourself these days. There are actually ball assistants there. Sandberg, though, wasting no time, grabbing it herself, and she will take this corner here. Williams making a nuisance of herself just to the left of the penalty spot, drilled in at the near post and nearly turned in there, and it would have been an own goal if it had gone in that far right-hand corner. Another Manchester United corner. Set pieces are where Manchester United have been quite effective with so far. They just haven't quite been able to guide the ball on target, but they're winning so many headers inside the Albion box. Sandberg to deliver again towards the penalty spot. Williams gets the first header. Turner hooks it back in, just in front of the 6-yard area. Miyazawa now. Needed a bit more purchase on that ball, and it might have reached Letitia at the back post. Albion trying to muster a counter-attack. Phoebe Warner, though, couldn't get to it initially. Now they have half a chance at least, but it's asking quite a lot of Ali Miller. 25-year-old Miller, very creative and calm on the ball. A technical player who actually also plays futsal for England as well. Manchester United put another dangerous ball into the 6-yard area. Miller alert off her line. Galton was the closest player to the ball. 61 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. No changes yet for the visitors. They do have Simran Jamat, the former Lewis FC player, if they want to make an attack-minded change, as well as Mariam Mahmood. Also on the bench, Rhian Oakley, Ruby Harris, Ella Howie, Kate Evans and Izzy Whittick. Bizet, right-hand side, plenty of space in towards the near post, just a bit undercooked. Hacked away, old-school Sunday League style almost there. Not enough distance, though, and that's an opportunity for a shot comes in. Turland with the effort. And again, Miller making a relatively simple save. Excellent feat, though, by Turland to make the space, but then the shot just lacked a little bit of power. Miller has proven herself to be a safe pair of hands, though, so far. And with 62 minutes gone, it stays at Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. You have to give the visitors credit for the way that they've shown defensive resilience. They've not allowed Manchester United to run away with this. And you never know. That's the magic of the FA Cup. Can West Brom create a meaningful opportunity and somehow get level in this game. Well, they've got a throw in here in an advanced position. Ashley Brown to take it. Another opportunity for Brown here, the 28-year-old ex-Birmingham player. Also played in the FA Women's Championship with Coventry City as well. Half-hearted appeals there from Albion for a corner, but it will be a goal kick. Manchester United women 4th in the FAWSL at the moment on 21 points, level with Arsenal. Everybody has played 10 games. They are 7 points off the leaders Chelsea. Riviere interchanges with Bizet. In it comes, looks a little bit too strong and is. The wind has actually died down in this second half, as it looks like we are going to see a double substitution for Manchester United. And look who is back. What a welcome substitution this is for Manchester United. Ella Toone is about to return after 2 months out, and this will get as big a cheer as the goal, I am sure. Albion are also going to make a substitution. Aoife Mannion is also going to come on for Manchester United.
Substitution for West Brom, replacing number 20, Phoebe
Rhian
Warner.
Oakley is introduced into
Number
the game.
17, Rhian Oakley.
And off goes Phoebe Warner.
The substitution for Manchester United, replacing number 19, Elizabeth Turland. Number 7, Ella Toone.
Listen to that roar. Turland off. Toone is back.
And replacing number
25-year-old
14,
returns from a
David
calf
Riviere.
injury.
Is number
And
5,
she will
Aoife
have
Mannion.
just under half an hour to try and make an impact and get her first goal of the season. Played 9 games before the injury. Can Toone help put this game to bed? Mannion also introduced into the game. Riviere, the player to depart. In it comes first time, looking for Galton. Got her head to it. Janssen taking her time inside the area. Couldn't pick out a teammate. Toone hustling for her first touch. Turner. Now here is Toone. Sandberg played a little bit wide. Toone again in those smart blue boots. Turner zipped in towards the back post. It was an excellent ball, but it beat everybody. Just sort of skipped off the surface. Manchester United with good movement inside the box. On that occasion, though, failing to connect. And that has been, to an extent, the story of the game. I think Mark Skinner will be very pleased with the application. No sign of complacency. Manchester United controlling the game, making the pitch as big as possible, using the wide areas, all within the game plan. Good interchange between the fullbacks and the wingers as well. But the one thing that's just been lacking is that final clinical ball in, or finish at times as well, particularly from the goal scorer Melvin Millard, who really should have scored with a header to make it 2-0. And that just sets up a bit of tension and drama here in the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Toone, wrong angle for Sandberg, and shepherded neatly out of play by Ashley Brown. 28-year-old using all of her experience. All of the back line for Albion will be relatively pleased with their showing so far. Hannah George, the captain, the 29-year-old, and Ashley Brown, the 2 fullbacks, and Isabel Green and Taylor Reynolds. Maybe a few tired legs out there, though, as we get to the midway point of the second half here. Live on the Adobe FA Women's Cup YouTube channel and also FA Player. It's Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. Ben Jacobs with you. It's great to have your company. No other game to tell you about today because Brighton and Durham was postponed. Fulham London City kicks off a busy programme from 12 tomorrow. And then from 1, a number of games, including Everton and Spurs. Palace, Sheffield United, one to look out for. West Ham, Liverpool, another all WSL tie. Chelsea in action against Charlton. Villa Bristol City rounds off the day. Do join us for the games. Mannion nearly able to do something inside the box there. Toone. To come over to her. Shows good balance to work it back to Letitia. Miyazawa threads it out to that right-hand side. Nearly fell to Miyazawa inside the area. The danger's not over. Rachel Williams trying to make a nuisance of herself inside the area there and just keep the attack going. And once again, it looks like Miller has got a problem here. And to reiterate, there is no substitute goalkeeper on the bench for Albion. In the first half, it was the right leg that was being treated. Now it looks like it's a similar kind of area that was bothering her in the first half. I wonder if it's just a little bit of strapping that needs to be reset, or possibly some cramp, but the same kind of stretch that we saw in the first half being done midway through the second. And the only real saving grace from Albion's point of view is it just gives them a little bit of respite. Oakley is on for Warner for the visitors, who are in a position really where in about 5 minutes or so they can start to have a real go at Manchester United and see whether they can get a big equaliser. Everybody else, as you can see, taking a drinks break. 70 minutes gone. Manchester United 1, West Brom 0. Melvine Millard, the difference between the sides. Her 4th goal in all competitions for the 24-year-old French woman. And she has subsequently been substituted. Ella Toone, who has 9 goals to her name from last season, due to the injury yet to get off the mark this campaign. Last played in mid-November. Miller again seems okay, and it's given her side a bit of a breather. Mannion, Bizet, Letitia, the captain, well helped on down that right-hand side. Toone is at the near post. High cross towards the penalty spot. And it's Rachel Williams with the header. And for the umpteenth time in this game, a Manchester United header goes wide. Rachel Williams, though, heavily involved since coming on. 37 years of age now, the Leicester-born forward or midfielder, who joined Manchester United from Spurs back in 2022. Pretty much this time last year, actually, Williams won the WSL Goal of the Month award for January. And she'll certainly be hoping that she can play her part in Manchester United killing off this game. There will be gaps at the back, you would think, in the coming minutes as West Ham commit more numbers forwards. Oakley there, who I still don't think has had a touch. Miyazawa, 30 yards from goal. Galton, Toone. Sandberg. Muscles her way to the byline. Dangerous ball towards the back post. Snapshot, which is well over the bar on the half volley from Dominic Janssen, who is looking for her second goal of the season. The one goal that she scored in the WSL, 2 assists as well for Janssen in the league for the 29-year-old Dutch woman. Wasn't really hit with conviction on that occasion. Turner. Plenty of time to whip the ball out to the right-hand side. Bizet. Turner again. Ella Toone. Short ball back to her, what's known as a hospital pass on that occasion. Toone has to settle for the throw-in. Turner and Toone. You say it like that, they sound more like a detective duo. Those two able to combine, though, quite readily because there's no real pressure on Turner, so she's kind of playing as a midfield metronome at the moment, and here she is again. Toone via Miyazawa. Letitia. Williams at the near post in the box, but it's scrambled away by Oakley. Now can Albion find a way to get this ball forwards? Excellent pressure by Manchester United to force them back a little bit. Ali Miller was in the most advanced position there through the centre. Here come Manchester United the other way. Ella Toone just inside the area, tries a bit of a cross shot. I think the intended target was probably Rachel Williams and she just mishit it slightly. Miller again, watched it all the way. So the holders of the Adobe Women's FA Cup are only 15 minutes plus added time from safely navigating a passage through round 4. Albion have played their part though in what is a tight cup tie at the moment. Williams. Ball was just slightly behind Galton. Put out of play by Ali Miller. Miller was late to take up football as well. She is actually an ex-trampolinist and a national champion, no less. So you would imagine even without the trampoline, she'd be pretty good at set pieces and leaping up in the air. Free kick given away here by Albion, though. Turner straight into the box. Sandberg and Toone over it. Again, these Albion walls are very close to the ball. Can't blame them for trying, I suppose. Five at the back post for Manchester United, including Maya Letitia just to the right of the penalty spot. Sandberg and Toone standing over the ball. Toone leaves it, Sandberg to deliver. Towards the back post, header comes in, it's off the bar, and it's been scrambled in. And Manchester United double their lead. Celine Bizet may claim the final touch. The header may have gone in off the underside of the bar anyway. And Manchester United double their lead. And they are heading through to round 5 of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Williams' header, actually, Anna Miller did very well to get her hand to it. It came back off the bar. And then standing there right in front of the goal was Celine Bizet. Manchester United 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. I think Williams would like to claim that goal. Might be one for the dubious goals panel, but it did appear that it was saved off the bar, and then Bizet put it in as Sandberg crosses towards the back post, and there's a third for Manchester United, and that goal definitely belongs to Rachel Williams. It's Manchester United 3, West Brom 0. Now the floodgates have opened, and the substitute with a powerful header, and Manchester United are certainly now secure into round 5 of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Two substitutes combining, lovely well-weighted cross by Anna Sandberg, and there was Williams. Clinical finish, Manchester United 3, West Brom 0. And now Albion are going to make two changes.
Substitution for West Brom, replacing number 14,
Ellie May, who's had to do a lot of running off the ball, is going to be replaced.
Number 9,
Mariam Mahmood will be the player to come on.
Ali Miller is number 7.
And Ali Miller is also going to be substituted, and Simran Jamat, who's played in the FA Women's Championship with Lewis, will have a final 11 minutes or so for Albion to try and get a consolation or somehow find a miracle. 5-6 minutes ago, you would have said they'll throw everything at trying to get a 1-1 draw, but Manchester United with 2 goals in quick succession. And now they are home and dry. Mark Skinner's substitutes making a real impact in this game. Williams, Galton's ball in. Miller able to come, but either way, the original ball had an offside flag on it, so nothing would have counted anyway. The second goal, we think, has actually been credited to Williams. So it may well be that Miller, despite her best efforts, was not able to keep that one out. She palmed it onto the underside of the bar. And if the whole of the ball had crossed the line at that point, then the goal is Williams's. So it's a brace for her. Bizet also claiming it to an extent too. And as I say, that is one for, if it still exists, the dubious goals panel. But for now, we will go with the official accreditation of the goal, and that is to Williams for the original header. Toone, nice angled ball in, but cleared before it reached Williams. Toone couldn't spread it out to the right-hand side because Mahmood was in the way. Miyazawa able to win the ball back for Manchester United. Ella Toone, Sandberg. She's already got 1 assist from that kind of area for the third goal. This time has to settle for a corner. Olivia Rabjohn tracking back and making the block on that occasion. The ex-Villa player. Sister Evie at Manchester United, younger sister watching on. Injured at the moment, which is why we don't have the two sisters facing each other. Sandberg short corner to Toone, who shapes to shoot, and it's into the right-hand corner, off the woodwork. Ella Toone is back with a bang, back with a goal. 2 months after returning for a calf injury, Ella Toone with her first goal of the season, and it is Manchester United 4, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Manchester United, number 7, Ella Toone.
Fine finish by Toone from the short corner, and now Manchester United are running riot. Perhaps a byproduct of some tired Albion legs, but clinical finishes, certainly for the Williams header, both of them in fact, and that Toone finish. Delightful strike. And now Manchester United have an emphatic scoreline to take into two Manchester derbies that are coming up next for them. One in the league, one in the quarter-final of the League Cup. And what a boost that is. Ella Toone returning from injury and immediately back on the score sheet. Now that's a bit of an errant pass. Can West Brom make the most of it? Not on that occasion, as Rabjon was just muscled off the ball. Toone. Miyazawa. Mannion chasing, trying to keep it in. She does get there. Not a bad cross, but Miller off the line to gather it. You can make an argument that Miller hasn't really deserved to concede 4 goals. But Manchester United clinical in this second half. 2 really good headers by the substitute Rachel Williams, who's obviously made an impact in the game, and then Ella Toone as well, with a bit of quality from a short corner. Here's Toone again. 5 minutes to go. Toone surges into the area, went for the near post, always a difficult angle. Miller again. Makes a stop that you would expect her to. And when you look at the visiting goalkeeper, not much she could have done about the Millard need finish in the first half. Made a valiant attempt to save the Rachel Williams header for 2-0. Third goal was a bullet header by Williams that the keeper couldn't have done anything about, and the fourth goal was just the class of Ella Toone shining through. So Miller will look back and be very proud of her performance here at Leigh Sports Village, despite the fact that the scoreline reads very one-sided now. Albion win themselves a corner here as they look for a consolation. Substitute Rhiann Oakley single-handedly hot-footing into the area. And now a chance for Rabjon to deliver. Can Albion give those 300 or so travelling fans an opportunity to celebrate here with a consolation goal? Rabjon to deliver. Punched away with authority by Tulish Joyce. And then a slightly wild effort. So another substitution for the visitors. Rabjon going off. Marley Rhodes is going to be introduced into the game.
It's number 11, Marley Rhodes.
Marley Rhodes, who only joined in July, the 18-year-old who can play anywhere across the front line. Joined after leaving Derby County.
Leigh Sports Village, the attendance today is 2,330. Thank you for your recent support.
2,330 is the attendance. Excellent support for this Adobe Women's FA Cup tie as Manchester United hunt for a 5th. Williams fed that in neatly to Bizet, but her effort is deflected away for a corner. Bit of urgency by Sandberg here to take it, as Manchester United sense that there's more goals for the taking. Turner is up just at the moment on the edge of the area. She's at the back post. Galton right in front of the keeper. Sandberg's corner. Bizet left it, and it beats everybody in the end. Manchester United will be glad as well that no injuries have been picked up. Mark Skinner's been able to make a number of substitutions which have impacted the game in the second half. And from Albion's point of view, plenty to be proud about. They kept this very tight for 3/4 of the game. And in the end, undone by a bit of quality from the Manchester United substitutes as Bizet is able to get there ahead of Miller. And she does get her goal too. And it is Manchester United 5, West Bromwich Albion 0. Miller couldn't quite get to the ball first. Brilliant composure though by the substitute. Bizet knocking it past the keeper, and then with that right foot powering it into the centre of the net. For Manchester United 5, West Brom 0. So she may not have her brace because that first goal likely awarded to Rachel Williams. But she does now get on the score sheet. Bizet making it 5 for Manchester United. And again, it's another impact by a substitute. 90 minutes are almost up here. Mark Skinner's bench making this far more comfortable than it looked after about an hour. Ball into Toone. She just fluffs her line slightly, taking her eye off the ball. We await the board for added time. 90 minutes now on the clock. And there'll be 7 minutes of added time, which feels a little bit excessive. Of course, there was the goals and also the injury to Anna Miller, which probably added a couple of minutes. But 7 minutes for Manchester United to try and add to their tally, or West Brom, of course, to get a consolation, as Bizet finds Mannion, drops her shoulder and drills one in, which again is easily gathered by Miller. Manchester United fans singing the famous FA Cup song, Wembley, Wembley, we're the famous Manchester United and we're on our way to Wembley. They're certainly on their way to round 5. We'll wait and see who they get in the draw. Toone. Bizet helps it on. Cross in towards Williams! And it's a hat-trick for the Manchester United substitute. All 3 with her head. She stoops low and buries the ball in the back of the net. And it's Manchester United 6, West Bromwich Albion 0. That is a super header. Such a difficult skill to execute. She has to stoop low and still generate the power to guide it on target. Of course, it was quite close range, but she adjusted her body ever so well. And the 37-year-old rolling back the years. And she will now go home with the match ball. There's no way that dubious goals panel can pull the first one, I'm sure, away from her now. Did look like, at second glance, it came in off the underside of the bar, and the header was powerful enough to cross the line. So 3 for Williams. And Manchester United have 6 goals, which is a little bit harsh on Albion because they've defended valiantly. So there are positives for the visitors. Five minutes of injury time remain. Galton in lots of space. Can she get in on the act? Not that many options. Lays it off to Miyazawa. Bizet with an effort. Again, Miller is equal to it. Another Manchester United corner. Letizia, the captain, wanted that one just fed to her right foot. Instead, though, another effort on goal. And with 4 minutes remaining, Manchester United have a late corner here. Corner in, beats everybody. Back post header, hasn't crossed the line. Manchester United claiming that's number 7. Miller was somehow able to keep it out. Toone plays a little 1-2 on the left-hand side. Galton across the face of goal again. Mannion couldn't get onto it. Bizet picks it up. Bobbles around. Millie Turner was only about a yard from goal, but couldn't quite gather the ball. And eventually, we are going to get a whistle. Manchester United will have a free kick here just outside the box. Leah Galton, the player to be fouled. Sandberg standing over it at the moment. Toone is there with her. Under 3 minutes remaining. Toone to whip it in. Forced in by Bizet, and it has gone all the way through, and Manchester United have 7 goals. 6 of them have come in the second half. Seventh heaven for Manchester United. Substitutes all getting in on the act.
Manchester United, number 15, Celine Bizet.
Bizet's second goal of the game. Miller will probably be the most disappointed about that one because it looked like she'd got down and got enough on the ball to make the save, but she could kind of only parry it into the back of her own net. And that means that Manchester United now have 7. Still 90 seconds remaining to try and maybe add to their tally. That will be a foul on Letitia from the substitute Oakley. A strange game in many ways because it's just got away from Albion, maybe due to fatigue, although we have to give Manchester United credit for the way that they finished in the latter part of this game. But we were well over an hour and it was a tight 1-0 game, and that's where Mark Skinner deserves credit for some of the substitutions that he's made. Mannion, another one of the subs. Ball into the back post. Toone takes a touch, helps it on to Sandberg. She sort of passed that into the box with a bit of pace, but Albion able to half clear. They've got 30 seconds to hang on and limit the damage to only 7. Is just one of those football games where people may read the scoreline and think that was easy for Manchester United, and it really wasn't for over an hour. As soon as they got 2, there was always a danger the floodgates would open, and that's exactly what's happened. Mannion. 7 minutes are pretty much up now. Last chance maybe for Manchester United. Sandberg. Scouring the box for options. That's a brilliant shift of the ball to get to the byline, and she wins her corner off Ashley Brown, but there won't be time to take it. And the holders, Manchester United, are into round 5 of the Adobe Women's FA Cup, thrashing in the end Albion by 7 goals to 0, but it was a 1-0 game for over an hour. Rachel Williams with a hat-trick. Ella Toone scoring on her return from injury. Full-time from Leigh Sports Village. Manchester United 7, West Bromwich Albion 0. So we can take a look at the story of the game now. And the opening goal came after 21 minutes. Jay-Z with the cross here. And off the knee of Mallard on 21 minutes for 1-0. And then flash forwards to over an hour, and it remained at 1-0 as Manchester United struggled to have meaningful shots on goal. But then Sandberg, the substitute, whipping one into the back post, and Williams able to score. She's credited with it, even though it looks from some angles like Bizet had to follow up to make sure. We wait and see who it's formally credited to, but at the moment it's Williams' goal. Sandberg then, again with an assist. And that one is definitely Williams's. Bullet header at the back post. 3-0 Manchester United. And at this point, the floodgates opening, and as you've probably noted, the substitutes heavily involved. Then a short corner, and this was the most welcome goal of the lot. Ella Toone on her return, curling one in off the bar. First goal of the season as she's back after 2 months out with a calf injury. Manchester United were not done yet. Bizet made sure that she got in on the action, rounding the goalkeeper. A calm finish. Mannion, another substitute, involved in goal number 6, stooping header from Rachel Williams. And that's a hat-trick goal, again, assuming she doesn't get the first one taken away from her. Don't think anyone will want to now, so she should go home with the match ball. And finally, a brace for Bizet. Although I suppose you could argue if she gets the first one, it's a hat-trick for her as well. But at the moment, it's 2 for her, 3 for Williams, and 7 for Manchester United, with that last goal coming in added time. So Albion put up a bit of a fight for over an hour defensively before eventually Manchester United's quality told. Williams with a hat-trick, Ella Toone scored on her return, and Manchester United safely into round 5 of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. It's full time here at Leigh Sports Village, where it's finished Manchester United 7, West Bromwich Albion 0. Thanks for your company on YouTube and on FA Player around the world, and from myself, Ben Jacobs, it's good evening.